Hello, beautiful people. I'm trying to adjust the camera. It's been a while. um, I'm waiting to see what's happening. I'm not sure if I'm going to be on tonight on Bay Hill because it seems like there's no. I was just listening station and then one two just keep one line of it. So yeah, there's a problem with the station. So there's something going on. So anyway, it doesn't matter. We're on. If I get a call, then we can continue. Still trying to set up the studio. There's kind of yeah, I haven't set up properly. I don't want to get any reflection from outside, not the best drapes, but you know, you know how it goes. Like I'm a very, very, very busy woman. Folks, welcome to We Heal Nations. On the same token, not stopping. I am Vaughn or Vanessa, or now known as Chief Firewater. And I'm really feeling that energy of Chief Fire and Water. And like I said, I am not stopping with this awakening and the mission that I came to do. So for those just joining, right? We Heal Nations is really about connecting women on the planet. And well, we have a new um, what I would call movement, which is the rise of the matriarchs. But we heal nations for everybody. But because the woman has been pushed back for so long, it is very important that we connect and start being who we are as a natural being, the people that we came to be, you know, opposed to just going along to get along that we've been doing for a very long time. You know, it's not working, folks. It's just not working. So we're getting together slowly. The women are coming along, and you know, it's a wonderful, wonderful bunch of women that I'm connecting to right now. You know, and I really look forward to having more and more. So this is very, very important, and I'm not going to let anything stop. I'm not going to let anything stop the momentum that we're picking up with people who are awakening to who they really are and want to connect with other women doing the same thing. So this is very, very powerful and empowering. And you know, since I've been doing this, a lot of people slowly, it took a while, a lot of people felt like so connected and feel so real, like we need to do this. You know, it's about talking about remembering who we are and going back to the natural things that we do as women, you know, that we were taken apart from. We were distracted by all the struggles and the movement of all different things that was created that was not organic, that was not real, that was not genuine as a people, especially for the organic people who were here before the colonization, before the Columbus or whatever they want to call it, you know. Um, we need to remember that genuine love, that genuine feel of connection to Mother Earth and to all, to everyone. You know, the matriarchs really had a vital role in community and upbringing and mentoring and, you know, teaching and transferring all the healing information, herbs, whatever it is, you know, that is genuinely helpful for the community and uplifting the community. So I just want to welcome everyone who's just joining, who's, you know, I'm not um, generally, I do a live because I'm doing this on my laptop, and when I have, it looks pretty busy in the background. I know this is kind of, but when I have the tablet, and I'm doing it from the tablet, it's much easier. But on the computer, you have to do it as a live for some reason, and then think. But because people are not used to me, I'm just going to do it and then share. If we get people on the live, that's fine. You know, if we get people on the live, that's fine. If you have questions, you know, I'm here. Ask the questions. I'm gonna start to put my information um, for donations, etc. Because the more deeper I get into this thing, the more, because you spend a lot in this research, and everything came out of my pocket. Not that I wouldn't do it again. I would do it again, you know. But at the same time, it is exciting because the knowledge also brings you to a point where you feel that you need to learn how to manage without the restraints of this Federal Reserve notes, because there was a way before. There was a way that we had access to all our resources without the stress of these things. Now, if this is changing, if okay, so like we can't get access, I just gotta. Oh, okay. So, um, live streaming. What is going on? In studio. Where's the link? So, mm, okay. So, for some reason, people some not getting access to the my stream, but I'll have to figure that out. This is my very first time trying this way. So, like, wow, I'm learning more and more about this thing. Uh, oh, shoot. So, yeah, wow. I'm trying to figure this thing out. You know, let's see if it's true live stream link. So, yeah, as I was saying, this is going to be ongoing. Still trying to figure out here how I can share this link so that people can get on the stream. Timestamp participants. Okay, guys, bear with me. You're probably going to be seeing this later because for some reason I'm not able to. The link was there prior. Let me just go back one and just check it out. No, that's not it. Um, yeah, so today we're talking about the end of the contracts of slavery, right? The guys that were behind everything, from everything, all the governments. This place, I mean, just like the Vatican, that was a different city, was in charge of the crown and the United States corporation, which is different than the United States of America. But putting us under this veil, we didn't realize as a people that we weren't supposed to be under any of these things, with the United Nations. Really, when you think about it, the United Nations, it comes from the womb. Nations come from the womb. So an external entity that has nothing to do with man and woman has, uh, okay. So, okay, so there's some a little issue with Bay Hill. Okay, so some issues, like we're all having these issues. So I think this video is going to help a lot of people. So this is very important. Like everybody's getting their power cut. My power was cut. My electricity, the power, whatever. The electricity was cut. These are some of the control mechanisms that the system has put together to have their slaves pay, and generate the energy to continue their falsehood, right? So what I'm learning is you need to look up the Bill of Exchange Act. There's one with the UK, but they're all the same. There's one with Canada, but basically it's the same principle. And there's one that in for the United States, but they're all the same. Even though they has the one with Canada, I can still use the one in the United States because Canada is occupying the land. They're not the land. It is like it's a corporation. It's like McDonald's. I'm gonna always use that. Quebec is like McDonald's. The provinces is like Ontario. They're all like they're just separate entity. They're privateers who claim to be the rulers and owners of these entities. So what you need to do is learn that. Remember, they're all actors, so everything has to do with act. Now we have our unalienable rights. So we don't go with their Bill of Rights Act and those acts. Those things. You have inalienable rights. You came through the portal of your mother or wherever. You came in free on this earth. So that is universal. You have those rights. But the acts that they're using to do business, like the Bill of Exchange, just listen to the word Bill Exchange. So when they send you a bill, it's really a bill of exchange. The exchange is you're allowing them, permitting them to use your credit because only the human, woman, and man has credit. The bank doesn't have money. It tells you in the document. They don't have money. There's another document, and I probably have that I could read. I'm going to read some of it, right? So it's right in front of me. The Bill of Exchange Act, right? Now, St. Vincent have to do with consumer, something with stamps. But again, St. Vincent is a corporation, and you don't have to be a Vincentian because that applies to those people who don't know who they are on our Vincentians. Now, when you know who you are and you put your stuff down, your foot down, then you can use even the Canadian Bill of Exchange Act, right? Bills of Exchange Act. And this one is 1985, okay? An act relating to bills of exchange, checks, and promissory notes. This act may be cited as the Bills of Exchange Act, right? So when you have to cite, in your letter or whatever you're sending, right? You can cite it, Bills of Exchange Act, and you put where it's from. It has the in brackets R.S.C. and then comma 1985 comma C. There's a proper way to cite it, so it shows you how to cite it, and it's their responsibility to go and see that document. All right. And it says notes, see coming into force, provision and notes where applicable. So when you cite it, there's a way you put it. There's a PDF that's available as well. I created my own PDF, but it does have a PDF that is available. And yeah, it's right there. And so we go back to it, and it says short title. Number 1, this act may be cited as Bill of Exchange Act. When you go and see what I just said about the Bill of Exchange, exactly how to cite it. And then interpretation, definitions. 2, in this act, right, acceptance means an acceptance completed by delivery or notification, right? So when they deliver the mail or the mail shows up, it's considered acceptance by delivery, right? Or the service. Once you get the service in your home, it's acceptance, right? So the action includes counterclaim and set off. So you need to know what the action to take, which is it includes counterclaim and set off. So you're making a counterclaim. So you're letting them know who you are in relationship to this account or this bill. So are you the agent? Or are you actually that person? Or are you the authorized agent? Whatever it is that you have to say. And then you make your instructions to set off. Bank means a bank or an authorized foreign bank, right? Within the meaning of Section 2 of the Bank Act. So we go to Section 2 of the Bank Act, right? And they have a PDF for that, right? Let's see. Section 2 of definition, the Bank Act. Okay. Section 2 of the Bank Act. Okay. Part 1 in the Bank Act. So I'm there. We have to find the definition of the bank. Bank means a bank listed in Schedule 1 or 2 bank, right? So you are a bank, by the way, because you do offer your credits, you loan your credit to the bank, to the service bank, right? And you're the one with the real credits. Bank holding company means a body corporate that is incorporated or formed under Part 2, 15. So it didn't go into detail, but I know bank has the more Schedule 1 and 2, listed in Schedule 1 and 2 bank. Okay, Schedule 1 and 2. So you need to get connected with this. So this one is for where I'm at, Quebec, but there is a one with the UK. You can research it online. They're all there. So there's a lot of terms here that you can use and in your communications. So it is very important for the matriarchs to learn about banking, because when the switch happens, we are going to be independent banks. We're going to be operating the way we were supposed to be operating as independent banks. So it is very, very important to learn these things. And don't ever feel like it's not possible, because you came to do this. We all came to do this because this is the shift. And as long as you're here in this time when the shift, see that last lunar eclipse, it just happened. If you're here breathing and having a knowledge of self, you came to do this work. There's no if, buts, or ands about it. But are you prepared? Are you getting ready for it? This is where we are. And it's not always taking action. Sometimes it's just enjoying and having a blissful enjoyment of the time, because you have your thoughts, because the eclipse was in Aries. You have your thoughts about what you want. Aries is the head. So it's about meditation to manifest. So you have those ideas of what type of life you want for your family and for others. And then, you live in the moment, which is helping to carry through some action you do think, like learning about banking. You may have had other experiences, but this I'm getting. It's about learning self-governance, banking, and having access to your resources. And you can't have access to your resources if you do not understand or understand the concepts that are laid out within the system, so that you're able to counter claim or do what is necessary for your economy, in your community, in your family, etc., etc. So that act is very important, right? So I'm not going to read all of it, but I started, but you get the gist. Like I've always said, in this program is to learn, understand, and interpret, and then take action based on what you understand. And each time you act, you're learning at a higher level, and a higher level, and a higher level. Don't just sit on it. Don't wait for another, like for example, the way I learn is just to go with what's in my heart. And if it doesn't work, I readjust. I let it go. I let it go because it's not a failure, it's an experience. I let it go and I come again. So each experience, it brings you to another level. And I'm just happy to do it because that's part, it's a game, folks. Like just see it as a game and relax and enjoy it, because if you stress, it's not going to help you. How you manifest is rolling with it, rolling, rolling. That's how you manifest, because it's being in your happiest mode when you least expect things happen. Oh, really? That happened, you know? Yeah, and you're going to learn how to, it's not scary to have credit cards anymore. It's not until when you go through that and understand it, you're realizing that the all caps is not a bad thing. It's the fictitious guy that's between you and the resources you need so that you don't get hurt. You have to learn how to use that fictitious guy to have all the damages so you don't get damaged. Then you need another guy, a trust, a common law trust, right? Because you're going to be purchasing and doing things on behalf of the trust, whether it's a family trust to do everyday thing or it's a business trust that helps you help others. So this is what the game is, right? So basically the contract for Israel is done. Today at 6 o'clock, it was kaput, which, I mean, all the other ones were already done. Canada, the Commonwealth, whatever. I know everybody thinks, you're not hearing about the king, right? The king does not exist. They're making it look like he exists. But all these people already been, and how could somebody be a king on a foreign land? Just ask yourself that. This Commonwealth thing, just, you can look up, there's a lot of acts too regarding the Commonwealth and what they said they're going to do. I found this. There's also a document I'd like to read. Okay. I was just reading it. It's called, and it's online. You could also create a PDF with that. It's called the American Founding Northwest Ordinance, which is part of like the Confederation or the Constitution, right? July 13, 1787. Article 1, no person demeaning himself in a peaceful and orderly manner shall ever be molested on account of his mode of worship or religious sentiments in the said territory. So in the said territory, wherever you are. Article 2, on the land. And remember, this says Northwest Ordinance. The Americas is Northwest. The American founding, right? It's Northwest. It includes the very South America, Central America, and where I'm at, Canada, what they're calling Canada. But, all these are illusions, but it's continental, right? And then it goes on to say Article 2, the inhabitants of the said territory shall always be entitled to the benefits of writs of habeas corpus and of the trial by jury, which is due process, really, of a proportionate representation of the people in the legislative and of judicial proceedings according to the course of the common law. So I mentioned before getting a common law trust, right? And there you can research that online. I think I sent a link to the group, the Rise, or somebody in the group, Rise of the Matriarchs, right? All persons shall be, is that liable? All will be bailable, bailable unless for capital offenses where the proof shall be evident. So you have to have evidence and a body of evidence that shows proof. A lot of people are being arrested and or kidnapped and put into jail without proof, and they're supposed to be bailed if there's not a crime. And really, it's if there no not even you shouldn't be bailed, period, if you didn't commit a crime. You should be let go if there's no crime. They're not supposed to pick you up like that. Okay, there has to show that there was a crime, right? Or the presumption great. All fines shall be moderate, and no cruel or unusual punishment shall be inflicted. No man shall be deprived of his liberty or property, but by the judgment of his peers. So when they put you in jail without, going through the process, right? You're being deprived of your liberty and property. The body, you're being deprived of that. Or the law of the land. Okay? So the law of the land for us, you have to show that there was a crime. And because we used to exile people, we didn't lock people away. We exiled them if they did something, like incest and those kind of stuff, right? These people among us, there's a lot of people who look like us and they're not us. They do all this incest and rape and all of this. That wasn't the way we lived. Truth. And should the public exigencies make it necessary for the common preservation to take any person's property or to demand his particular services, full compensation shall be made for the same. So when they take your property, say for example, to do a hotel and all of that, full compensation should be made, right? In the just preservation of rights and property, it is understood and declared that no law ought ever to be made or have forced in the said territory that shall in any manner whatever interfere with or affect private contracts or engagements bona fide and without fraud previously formed. Interesting. This could be used in the case as, the false pretenses of the rock quarry, and then they're taking it over to do farming, which the people already had previously contracted to farm for the mouths in the community. So that's a good one to use from that. Okay. And now the other one that's very important is Article 3. That is now for, listen to this, religion, morality, and knowledge being necessary to good government and the happiness of mankind. Now, government is not just the foreign government that's on our land. You as a family member, you have to govern yourself, your community, that kind of government, okay? Schools and the means of education shall forever be encouraged. So in the same thing, community government, organization is a government. So any organization like We Heal Nations, we are a government, okay? The utmost good faith shall always be observed towards the Indians. Who are the Indians? The West Indians, right? We're talking about the Western Territory, the West Indian. This is pre the setting up of all of these contracted countries. This is from 1787, right? So the utmost good faith shall always be observed towards the Indians. Their lands and property shall never be taken from them without their consent. And in their property rights and liberty, they never shall be invaded or disturbed unless in just and lawful ways authorized by Congress. But laws founded in justice and humanity shall, from time to time, be made for preventing wrongs being done to them. And for preserving peace and friendship with them. Now, all these laws and acts and so forth, was it to make peace with the Indians, with us? Was it? Or was it to create a way to steal, like the prisons and the churches, and to further hold us back and not transfer the information from generation to generation? You can answer that for yourself. There's Article 4 talks about, the said territory and the states which may be formed therein, because they're talking about the confederation now that was formed after this. See, the first article is more important than this. Now, this is you, if you decided you're going to be, part of their federal debts and so forth. The inhabitants and settlers in the said territory shall be subject to pay a part of the federal debts. You see, the inhabitants, right? The inhabitants and subject, the inhabitants and settlers, the settlers, the new ones that came in. They're not talking about the Indians. You can decide for yourself who you are. If you want to be them, then fine, right? So let me continue to read. Be subject to pay a part of the federal debts. The federal debts would be what they owe to us, the Indians, contracted or to be contracted, and a proportional part of the expenses of government to be apportioned on them by Congress according to the same common rule and measure by which apportionments thereof shall be made on the other states. Now, there's also the church state, right? That's the tithe, and so that's part of this. That's all part of this, because it's the same thing. It's the same. When they came through the Jesus Christ thing and bringing the book and telling you, you die or you become a Christian, right? And the taxes for paying their proportions shall be laid and levied by the authority and direction of the legislatures of the district. So Canada is a district. Okay? Or districts or new states. So everywhere there's a central bank, they consider a district, because that's what you're using, right? As the original states within the time agreed upon by the United States in Congress assembled. The legislatures of those districts or new states, right? The new states shall never interfere with the primary disposal of the soil by the United States. They can't interfere with that, because we are the soil, right? In the Congress assembled, nor with the regulations Congress may find necessary for securing the title of such soil to be bona fide purchasers. No tax shall be imposed on lands, the property of the United States. And in no case shall non-resident proprietors be taxed higher than residents. The navigable waters, you see, they're talking about the universal, the UCC, which is the waters. They're talking about you not being on your land, what you call that, oh my gosh, maritime law, right? Because you're lost at sea. That's if you get caught up in those waves, those waters leading into the Mississippi and St. Lawrence, and the carrying places between same shall be common highways and forever free, as well to the inhabitants of the said territory as to the citizens of the United States and those of any other states that may be added into the Confederacy without any tax imposed or duty thereof. You hear that? So, and it goes on. There's a lot of bona fide good things to read. So I'm not going to read all. I think too, I'm not going to do a long session tonight. I just wanted to, at least have something for this week, because the radio program is down. The radio is down. And um, there are, issues everywhere. So when you learn these things, you're going to learn how to take care of these so-called bills, because the bill for electricity and everything can be handled with that, and using those laws that I quoted, because those are your guidelines as to how to navigate. So have a wonderful, wonderful evening, and I hope this was helpful. Thank you for coming. Uh, I'm gonna have to announce my lives. I'm gonna do the live every week, but I'm gonna set it up prior and have the link so that you guys can share, or you can check out. I'll put it to premiere. I have to learn about this stuff. Anyway, have a good one.